Oh, that's strange. Hey, good morning, guys. How you doing? Hope you guys doing awesome today. Today we're talking about 5 tips to recognize and honor your needs in relationships. This is by Kaylee Rupp. Hope you guys are doing great on a Tuesday. I hope you guys all voted yesterday here in Canada. It looks like Liberals might win again, according to the stats I saw this morning. Well, what can you do? Anyhow, let's get into our article. So here's a quote from Sonia Friedman. The way you treat yourself sets the standards for others. Cool. And the article is about, it's pretty short, so it shouldn't be too long today. In what feels like a previous life, I was a serial dater. I looked for attention, validation, and identification in relationships. Each guy, however, wrong for me, seemed like a perfect fit for my empty hand. Maybe I hated being around his smoking, but I brushed it off and tried to breathe the other way. Maybe our conversations were dull, but I thought I'd get better. Maybe I cringed at being dragged to another party, but I went because he wanted to see his friends. This pattern continues for years. I stayed in relationships that were clearly wrong for me and dated people I didn't understand who didn't understand me, just to be one. It wasn't until an insightful Zen class that I even became aware of the pattern. I cozied up in the gentle lit room, hot tea in hand, surrounded by kindred spirits. The Zen master began the day's lessons. Needs. Huh? I sipped the sweet jasmine tea and listened intently, blown away by what he was saying. Needs? What are those? Seriously. They weren't even on my radar. But they should have been. Needs are personal prerequisite to happiness. We don't learn to pay much attention to our needs beyond the basics of food, water, and shelter. Television, advertising, pulp culture, and the desires of others dictate our needs. Is that true? If you agree, let me know. But I'll bet that on a soul level, you need a cooler car, bigger ring, whiter teeth, or more parties. What do you need then? Answering this question can be one of the most powerful transformations of your life. What do you need? I don't know. Let's find it. It was for me after the class. I started paying attention to my needs and slowly began attending to them. I need to embrace my introverted nature instead of ignoring it or boozing it out at parties every weekend. I needed alone time, space to think, dream, and to be. I placed peace and quiet, deep conversation, the freedom to spend Friday nights without guilt. At first recognizing these needs was rough. I hated myself for having them. Why couldn't I be like other 20-year-olds? Why did bars overwhelm me? Why didn't I socialize with his rowdy friends? It drove me nuts. So for a while, I continued to ignore my needs. I thought I'd just override them with more wrong relationships and parties I hated. Eventually, I couldn't ignore them anymore. I came to terms with them. Being aware of my needs was making room for me to actually start taking care of them. Cool. It took years, but finally at the point where I'm comfortable with my needs and making them known. I'm with a guy who not only accepts but embraces my introverted nature, so I have time to write, be alone, and spend a Friday night with a book without ridicule. It's allowed me the space to be more authentically myself, and happier and more available to all of my relationships. Maybe you can relate. Do you shove your true needs aside to fit in with what you're supposed to, what and do, or to tend to the needs of others? When was the last time you asked yourself, what do I need right now? If it's been a while, or this has been new to you, as it was to me, here's a brief intro on how to work with your needs. So, 5 points here. First one, realize that needs is not selfish, weak, or dependent. For some reason, there's a need. Sorry. For some reason, there's an idea that needs someone selfish or needy. Please let that go. Sometimes we feel this way because we think the needs of others should come first. But how can you be available as your best self for others if you're not taking care of yourself? When you're happy and taken care of, it's more of a joy than a burden to take care of the needs of others. It will take some time to get over the negative ideas about having needs. So be gentle and patient with yourself. Through this process, just remind yourself that we all have needs, and there's nothing wrong or greedy about them. On the contrary, it's oh so right to take care of them. Recognizing and attending to your needs is part of self-love and care. Be good to yourself, honor your needs. Number 2, ask yourself, what are my needs? For many of us, our needs aren't even on the radar. Simply taking a moment to ask yourself what they are can give you answers you never knew were there. So ask yourself, what are my needs? What are my personal prerequisites for happiness? Not what the commercials or your friends are telling you. What is your soul telling you? So ask yourself, what are my needs? Do you need more creative passion, fun, more time in nature, less stress? Once you've started discovering what your needs are, check in with yourself often. Are your needs being met right now? If not, how can you make it happen? Number 3, accept them for what they are. It's tempting to beat yourself up about them, like I did. But you can change it, so why fight them? You might not like what you find at first, that's okay. You don't have to like something to accept it. Just remember that everyone's needs are different. Let go of your expectation and embrace whatever comes up for you. This is really a part of accepting of who you are, your needs, and your needs are highly personal, a reflection of your authentic self. Being real with your needs means being real with yourself. It means being authentic and honoring you and your whole human experience. Number 4, you can communicate them. It can be tough to start letting others know what we need. We are afraid of looking selfish or placing burdens on others. Let this go. By communicating your needs to others, you are constantly and mutually respectful environment, one where they feel free to express their needs too. So really telling people what you need is pretty selfless. Just be ready to hear and honor their stories as well. Communicating our needs requires and creates a great deal of respect and authenticity in our relationships. When you're honoring another's needs, you're creating the opportunity for greater authenticity, respect, accountability, and love. Cool. 5, tend to them. This, of course, is the most important part, taking care of those needs. This step also takes time. Start small. If you're a closet introvert like I was, trying to say no to one party invite and enjoying that quiet time guilt-free. You don't need a radical overhaul. Baby steps will build you up to a point where your needs become priorities. Before you start feeling selfish, remember, when you're practicing stellar self-care, you're becoming more authentic and available for your relationships. I won't pretend that these steps are easy. They're not. It took me a long time to get to the point where I am aware and taking care of mine. And sometimes I still screw up. It's always a journey. But it's a journey that is so worth it. They always are, aren't they? So embrace the challenge, honor yourself, and attend to your needs for greater authenticity, self-love, and presence of this beautiful journey. Hope you guys enjoyed that article like I did. It's pretty cool to learn about self-love and to honor yourself and to understand your needs. I hope you enjoy that and have a great day. If you have any questions, leave comments in Instagram, YouTube, or Facebook. I'll be happy to respond if I can. Thank you guys. Have a great day. Bye.